Anywho, yeah, there aren't a lot of resources for dads, especially um, when it comes to the court systems, legitimization, how to handle it. I know. So I've seen your book, uh,
Mhm.
and I definitely I'm gonna pin some stuff in the comments in the description so that they can look it up and everything like that. But there's
Appreciate
your
that.
book that does a very good job for dads that are in Georgia, and then there's a book that Present Father on TikTok has, and it's about how to go to family court as a father seeking custody and
Hmm.
how to handle yourself, prepare yourself, present yourself. And a lot of that isn't talked about. So a lot of times the the resources we have can be dialed down to fucking Facebook groups, like the one where me and you met.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where a lot of dads go just to get basic advice on how to be dads or what they're supposed to be doing. And it's
Hmm.
it's without those groups where all these dads collectively are there to try to offer advice and help each other,
Hmm.
there's a strong chance there wouldn't be a lot of help for many of them.
Yeah. Like that's the what was it? Was it Dads Helping Dads? In that group, I found the lawyer that was helping me with legitimation.
Mm,
So he was like, "I'm not going to charge the forms you need to fill it out." And so he definitely helped, and it was like a mental thing for me, like actually going through it. Like I think every young man needs to read the a financial affidavit,
right.
because that shows how much, like, they want to know your assets, they want to know how much gas you put in your car a week, they want to know your business last 3 years
Everything.
and everything. And I got to a point like, this sucks. They're not asking me if I'm a good dad or if I have good intentions. They just want to know how much money I have.
That's yeah. The family court system is all about money.
Right.
It's all about money and child support,
Yeah.
which a
Yeah.
lot of people don't realize. In many states, the child support court can be completely separate from the family court.
Hmm.
Just like even in Georgia, someone can be put on child support and not be legitimized and not have
Right.
rights to rights to the kid. Uh, but they can go in and fight for rights for the kid. They could even win total custody,
Hmm.
but they have to go dispute that child support with a different court,
Hmm.
different judge. It's insane. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Like
I
I
remember
remember.
I remember filling out my financial affidavit, and it
Hmm.
was like 401ks, assets, properties, like you said, gas, groceries, entertainment, phone bill, the whole
Hmm.
nine. They wanted to know everything about your life,
Hmm.
and it's like why? And it's all strictly to calculate your child support. They don't care about any
Hmm.
of the rest. They don't care that you're a good dad. They don't care that you have all the best intentions. They want to know how much child support you're about to be able to pay that mom,
Hmm.
even if it is 50-50.
Right.
Which I do know certain couples that have split, did the 50-50, and they agreed, okay, it's 50-50. The kids are with me half the month, they're with you half the month. I'll take care of my household and you take care of your household. But that's such a rare thing
It is.
because I've talked about it before, you know, just like how you said one of your biggest fears was child support.
Hmm.
Think about how many movies you've seen growing up and as even as an adult where there was someone saying, when are you going to put them on child support?
Exactly.
Or I've even seen scenes where it's just like, oh yeah, we can go out to eat or we can go out tonight because I got my child support today.
Hmm. That's
It's
crazy.
insane.
Yeah.
And I remember before I won full custody, I knew for a fact that she was wasting the child support money.
Mm-hmm.
I knew she wasn't spending it on actual stuff for my son.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was all very, we didn't have a court agreement or anything yet. This was just what I had agreed to pay her.
Yeah.
So I put it on one of those American Express cards that you can buy at Walmart where you load it
Mm-hmm.
up and everything. And I loaded it up and I gave it to her. I was like, "Here, this has $300 on it. I'll put more
Mm-hmm.
money on it in 2 weeks." And then she was spending it at Little Caesars and all sorts of shit. Just buy and it for those of you that are gonna say, "Well, a kid will eat Little Caesars," not a 3 month old, okay?
Yeah.
Not a 3 month old.
That's very true.
And it was just it was always an excuse for why all of a sudden it was $140 at the mall or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. But it just proves a point that we've even seen it growing up and in our entertainment and the things that we watch that it's pushed that when you split with a man you put him on child support because that's extra money for you,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not the way it's supposed to be. And just like in my situation, she was ordered to pay child support and I never saw a dime of it. I think she did pay for a week of daycare twice in the very, very, very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And then I never saw a dime for the past. It's about to be October, so it's about to be 5 years.
Yeah. That's crazy. But
October 4th will be 5 years since she saw him.
yeah.
So yeah,
Mm.
I can definitely file for abandonment now. 30 days seems a little extreme, you guys.
Yeah. And then
But
that's
go
crazy
ahead.
how well I was gonna say like in my book the fact sheet, because a lot of men don't understand that just because you sign that birth certificate, that just it just makes it easier for her to put you on child support. That's
Yeah, because
literally
you're on the
all
birth
that is.
certificate, so you could be on child support.
That yeah, that is that is it. That doesn't mean you get she doesn't have to do anything for you. And it's
I've
crazy that
I've heard it said in Georgia by a bunch of other dads that when
mm,
you sign a birth certificate in Georgia, all you're doing is a financial transaction because you don't have any rights.
mm,
And
I can
it's
see that.
it's
Yeah.
hard to argue with.
It's pretty yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
It's a sad reality that uh, there are some times where I see the legitimization process do good things, and there
Mm,
are some where I don't. And one of the reasons why legitimization became more of a thing is because of common law marriage,
mm-hmm.
that dumb shit people used to do.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it caused a lot of issues.
It does.
And so I understand where it came from, but like so many things in the justice system, things were started with good intentions and then were abused and twisted. And now here we are years later where it's weaponized against a lot of dads.
All right.
And I can't say that maybe it's not weaponized against women, but I've never seen it. So if
Nice.
you're a woman and you have been attacked per se by the court system or legitimization specifically, I don't see how because they're the mom and they gave birth. I would like
Yeah.
to know about it, but
That
pretty sure it's just for dads here.
yeah. 1,000%. I mean, it may be a 1%, you never know, but
I
I don't see it.
I would be really curious
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
every time I talk about legitimization on TikTok or something, someone always says, "Well, it can be used against a mom." How?
Right.
The child came out of her. I don't understand where you're going with this.
Right.
Yeah, there's always an argument to be had, and there are bad dads out there. There are bad moms out there, but the legitimization process is specifically for dads.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, it cost me $8,000 just to be legitimized. So tell me that's not a financial grab.
That is crazy.
Because it could just be such a simple process to be legitimized, but instead it's a whole thing where you have to go to court and there's everything that can happen. Or they could contest the legitimization, and here you are hemorrhaging
Hmm.
money and get the right judge, and you're going to be paying her lawyer fees too. It
Right.
doesn't add up that it's not just something to be used against dads.
Right. Because I think we should, like, if we sign the birth certificate, if we're there, you know what I mean? I think we should automatically be considered legally the father. It can be
Right.
simple.
Or
Like,
when you have that, when that person comes, that notary is in there, and you're
yeah,
filling out that birth certificate, why not have papers of legitimization right there that can be filed with the birth certificate? Why do I have to go before a judge for it?
see it. And then
It
there's
can be a
some,
simple process, which is why I
yeah,
say, tell me it's not about money.
right. Because even the forms, the form, the packs that you got to send in,
Yep,
like form after form after form after form after form. It's got to be submitted the right way in the right format.
yep.
Some stuff has to be notarized, some stuff doesn't. Like,
Which me and Chris talked about that on not the last episode, but the one before that. Me and Chris,
hmm,
he had been going through court so long that he taught himself how to file all the motions and do that himself and
yeah,
bypass his lawyer on that part because it was costing so much money.
yeah,
And that's one good thing where I'll plug this for present father is his
mm,
book teaches the book that they have
mm,
explains all that kind of stuff.
okay,
It's a very good book. I think if a dad's in Georgia or just in a state that has legitimization,
mm-hmm,
present father's book about family court and your book too on
mm-hmm,
Georgia court with legitimization in there and everything would set them up for success.
right,
Which also those are some of the very few resources that you'll find because there's not a whole lot.
yeah. Like I was looking, like I ran across old YouTube videos, and it was just nothing really like presenting it in a way that I could like grasp it. Like
Yeah,
I'm like I didn't know what to think or what to expect or how the process went, or I was, well, a nervous wreck, you know?
yeah,
But it's not terrible. It's and me myself, like I did go through depression during that time because it's like I want to see my son, I want to spend time with my son, I want to be a dad, but it's like I have to go. I don't, the police are cool, but you have to go to the police station. You have to fill out the forms and like have them served. Like it gets really serious really quick.
yeah. It definitely does. And
And,
I understand the depression side of things too when it comes to it
hmm,
because uh, whenever I first had my son, my oldest son, it
hmm,
was right at the same time me and her were breaking up, very
hmm,
shortly after.
hmm,
And so I had a newborn that all of a sudden I couldn't see every day.
hmm,
And all I wanted to do was see my kid. And
yep,
I didn't handle it the best way because I was 19
yeah,
and, you know, it was me handling those emotions the wrong way, drinking and stuff. And uh, I wasn't handling it the right way, which I think a lot of dads don't handle it the right way because
yeah.
how are
I
you
can
supposed to
agree.
handle something like that?
Yeah.
You know, that feeling of you want to be a dad, but all of a sudden you can't be,
Hmm.
or or even just the impending feeling that you know you're about to have to fight to be a dad to your kid. It's a lot.
Yeah. Like my son was 3 months in the final split.
Yep.
So I
Yeah.
I know what you
New.
mean. Newborn, you get used
Yep.
to the routine. You come home from work, you want to see your child there, you want to spend time with him, and then all that just changes.
Yeah.
So
It's
yeah,
hard. It sucks. Fucking, it sucks just remembering how it felt.
yeah. And you, shout out to you because you put me on to Dad Guilt.
Yeah,
I
dad
didn't
guilt.
know that was a real thing. Like I'm like, what is
Yeah.
dad guilt? Like I looked it up. I was like, oh, this is a real thing.
Yeah, dad guilt is a big thing. And after I made that video, I was just like, damn. I was like, let me do a little bit more research. Let's see if there's other people talking about it. There's not a whole lot of people that fucking talk about it.
No,
And it needs to be talked about.
it does.
And
100%.
I was so aggravated because I was like, let me go on TikTok and see, videos about dad guilt. I was
Hmm.
getting videos about mom guilt trying to find shit about dad guilt.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? Yeah, dad guilt is a big thing. It fucking
Hmm.
sucks. You're telling me
Yeah.
that I know I'm doing good by being a provider and going to work, but I feel absolutely terrible about the fact that I'm a provider and I have to go to work?
Hmm.
Or you feel like you're not doing enough, you're not making enough, you're not present enough, and you're doing everything
Hmm.
you can, but no matter what, you're still going to feel like you're not doing enough?
Yeah.
It's hard. It fucking sucks. And there's every dad feels that way at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
It sucks. I feel that
Yeah.
way all the time. I still feel that way. Every
Yeah.
time my kid's like, "Dad, do you have to go to work?" Because I work day shift and night shifts. I rotate.
Yeah.
And my 8-year-old, man, he just pulls your heartstrings sometimes.
I bet.
He'll be like, "Dad, just get a new job. You don't need this one anymore."
Hmm.
I'm like, "No, yeah, buddy, I do." That's or my
Yeah.
my 4-year-old will be like, "Dad, what are you doing? Getting ready for work. Why do you have to go to work? Just stay here with
Mm.
me."
Right.
And then I'm just like, I wish I could. I wish we lived in a world where I didn't have to go sell part of my life away for money. But
Yeah.
it's the world we live in.
It is. And like I think it was in another video. It's like, well, pretty much like men know what we know what we need to do to provide. Like you have to be a provider. Like it's okay to be sad. Like it's okay to cry. You know, I cry from time to time. It is what it is. But
I cry during Disney movies, dog. I'm not.
well, I like to to go ahead and get up and get it and do what you need to do is the best feeling. Like it does suck because like when you're kids, like when I'm leaving, like I'm like, all right, hey, see you later. And it's like I see his eyes as I'm closing the doors, like the sad eyes, like
It's the
I'm like,
worst.
yeah, yeah. I'm like, I'll be back. I promise. I'll be safe. Driving to and from work. But it has to be done. Like you have to take care of your child and your responsibilities in your household. And I
Right.
think that goes into even to go back to the visitation or whatever custody agreement that you have. If you want 50-50, then you have to be a provider 50-50. Like you have to have the system, have it set up to where you got it. Like it's more into it than a lot of people really think. Like they think 50-50 will just get you off of child support, but that's not the case.
Yeah, actually, the server crashed.
Again,
Oh, really? I don't know. Yeah. She was having connection issues too.
yeah,
Yeah. It disconnected from the server for her too. So
jeez.
it was a whole thing.
Hmm.
But yeah, there is a certain pride that comes with knowing that you can provide. Like you said, if you want 50-50, you have to be able to provide that. You have to have everything set up in place. You have to have your ducks in a row because you can't
Hmm.
you can't fight for 50-50, but then not be able to actually do what you need to do that. Whether
Exactly.
that's, you'll have to have, a babysitter for when you have to work and it's your time with the kids. You have to be able to
Mm-hmm.
provide clothes, food, houses, that's your responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And and I've talked about it with a couple times on the podcast. You have dads that say that they'll do anything for their kids, but then they're not actually prepared to do that.
Yeah.
You can't go before a judge and say, "Yeah, I want my kids," 50% of the time, and then the judge says, "Okay, well, explain, your job." They look at your finances, and you don't have the finances to actually do it, or
Mm-hmm.
you're living in a one-bedroom apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the kid supposed to be? You have to be able to provide those things.
Yeah. Like your shift and all that. They look at all of that.
Yeah,
And I think they
and they
should because if you're not set up, like you're saying, if you're in a one bedroom, you don't have running water, like you gotta wake the kids up, you guys gotta shower, like you have to take care of the child. I mean, take care of yourself too.
right.
And then by taking care of yourself, just make sure you take care of the child as well. Like I'm with you.
Yeah, it's a point that has to. I don't feel it shouldn't have to be said, but we have to say it. If you're gonna fight for custody of your kids, then you have to actually be able to provide a life for your kids. You can't go before a judge and say that you're ready to be a dad, or that it's safe to have those kids with you all the time, and then it not be any of those things.
Mm-hmm.
It's it it we we have to talk about it. Unfortunately, it's aggravating as
Yeah.
heck to talk about, but
Yeah. No, it definitely needs to be a topic. And I guess that's why I'm still like favorite word prevention. Like
prevention.
because it's so hard to co-parent with somebody who will deliberately make things tougher for you. Like it's already tough having a child, keeping them safe, like raising them, teaching them, educating them, and then you have somebody who's going to go against everything you try and do.
Yep. And like I said, like with Chris's situation, it's as simple as trying to make basic decisions. And because she'll say no just to spite him, he has to go and
Mhm.
file a motion with a judge.
Yeah, see that sucks.
It's insane. And his case, we're about to record another episode because it we ran out of time, even though we talked for 2 hours. We needed more time to keep talking about it.
Yeah.
It's his situation is insane, but here's the thing: his situation isn't unique or
Mhm.
individual. There's so many dads that have to go through the same thing,
Right.
or have specific mediators appointed by the court, because there's so much that has to be, decisions have to be made, but they can't see eye to eye, so they have to have a mediator to do it. And it happens so often. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
And that sucks. Like the courtroom really wants you guys to like agree. Like I know they even told us like, okay, this parenting plan isn't like permanent. Like if you guys need to deviate from it or like, hey, I'll be running a little late or something like this, you guys can do that. But
Yeah,
like you were saying with Chris's situation, if you have somebody who is going to intentionally spite you or wait for you to make a mistake to take you to court, then it sucks.
yeah.
Sucks.
It,
It's
it
gonna
it
keep sucking.
shouldn't be that way.
Yeah,
The kid should be the number one priority in
yeah,
every situation, but a lot of times, spitefulness and hurt feelings cause a lot of issues,
yeah,
or
uh,
people lose sight of the most important thing when it comes to family court, and
yeah.
that's the kids.
Very true.
It
Yeah,
it 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 again, it shouldn't be that way. The kids are the
Yeah.
priority. The kids are the reason you're fighting for custody. Getting back at your ex isn't the reason.
Right. Yeah. I
That's not
always say
always
a
the
part.
case for men. Men aren't
Yeah.
trying to get back at their ex.
Nah.
We all know who is in a lot of cases.
Right. We know.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that one.
I mean, it is what it is. Like, I think, like, big props to you for creating this space and like cultivating it, you know, where we can relate to it. You know what I mean? Like, I was just watching your videos, like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm going through, and or I can relate. Like, it's, you know, big respect to you as well. Like,
Thank you,
and I
man.
appreciate you
I
letting me
appreciate it.
on. I know time is, I'm working, you're working. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I really appreciate you coming on. Yeah, I do. I do my recordings. So my kids go to daycare,
Mm-hmm.
and there's 2 days a week where they're both in daycare, and my oldest
Mm.
is at school, and it's a
Okay.
partial day program. So
Yeah.
I record in that window on those two
Yeah.
days, and I'm like, all right,
Man, dads are gonna make it happen. Like,
that's exactly it.
for sure. Like, we don't really, I guess it's like a, like, we understand that, like, men recognize men. Like, when you're doing what you're supposed to do, when you're trying to do what you're supposed to do, help usually tends to come along, you know?
Yep.
And what else? Like, I've met so many different dads, and like I still talk to different dads who reach out or from the group, or like having a space is so important. Like,
It
talking
is.
about this stuff is so important because a lot of us, like, it's bottled up, or nobody
Yeah.
else around us can relate or has been through the situation.
Exactly. Which that was, originally the first, I don't know how many episodes was just me talking in my car.
Mm-hmm.
And as people were watching my TikToks and mainly the TikToks is easily the most active place to engage with followers and
Yeah.
talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
And I had dads, sending emails into the show, telling me their stories and asking if I could, talk about it on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to figure out the best way to do that because originally I was just doing it in my car. I was just driving.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I can't help these dads the way that I want to doing it in my car. I was like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna run out of things to talk about, or people are gonna get tired of watching me repeat the same shit over and over. And
No, not
I was
really.
like, you know what? I was like, let's do dad interviews, and that's where I posted on that Facebook group,
Mm-hmm.
and I posted on like three of them. And after me and you finish this interview, I'll have 114 more dads to interview.
Wow, congratulations, man.
There's a lot of dads that want their stories heard, and
Yeah.
I think it's important that they are. I even
Yeah.
have some moms that want their story heard. We're gonna have some moms on
Okay.
here too,
Okay.
so it's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah.
But with speaking of my kids in school, I'm about to
Yeah.
have to go get them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
For sure.
so everyone, this was Daniel. Thank you for coming on the show, man. And I'm gonna put your book in the description below.
Okay.
Definitely get that out there to help some dads. And thanks, yeah, man. Thanks for coming on the show. This was great.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. And I'll, continue to engage and watch because, like, I be watching. I'll watch your videos. Like,
Hey,
it's
I appreciate it.
yeah, for sure.
But all right, everyone. So thanks for listening to the Modern Fatherhood podcast. You can find me on all the social media platforms. And I'll talk to you next week.